Paradise, Grenada, the Isle of Spice, a vibrant country in the Caribbean with a population of just over 100,000 people. A little boy who would later grow up to become one of the small island's greatest ambassadors, graced the world with his arrival. It was the year 1986. President Reagan had just visited the beautiful island, and Orendiel Orson Charles, who would later be known as the Jap Boss, was born. In his early years, Orendiel spent his days fishing, which was something he thoroughly enjoyed his entire life. A skill he learned from his uncle Stephen, his sister Roxy, and brother Nooks. Although he enjoyed fishing and was born on an island, Orendiel didn't know how to swim. That didn't deter him from trying to teach everyone else to swim. His resilient and charismatic personality was evident even then as a young boy. He always wanted to be the very best at everything he would do. This would translate into another love of his: sports. Growing up in Grenada, the major sport every young boy and girl played was cricket. When he wasn't out fishing with his uncle, brother, and sister, he was out in full force on the cricket pitch, alongside them emulating his favorite players, Brian Lara and Curtly Ambrose, who were arguably the best at their respective positions. He strived to be the very best. His mother, who had left Grenada in search of a better life for him, landed in Toronto, Canada, and sent for him at the age of 11. This is where the second part of his journey would begin. As a young boy starting over in a new country, one would think it would be difficult, but not for the vibrant, full of life Orendiel. He quickly made friends everywhere he went, and gave them all unique nicknames as this became his thing. Pokemon, Goatman, and Saltfish were some of the names he gave his early friends. Jessica, who was another close friend of his, also came from a similar background. Born in the Caribbean, who later migrated to Canada. So all his early friends were all born in the Caribbean, all migrated to Toronto. While living in Toronto, he quickly became immersed in North American culture, which heavily influenced his love for rap music. Growing up with his uncle in Grenada, who was a well-known guitarist, Orendiel already came from a musical background, so transitioning to hip-hop was seamless. And his charismatic nature and smooth-talking ways translated effortlessly through his lyrics and quickly started garnering attention. He teamed up with more of his early friends, a young rapper named Ronnie O and a producer Big Zeus. And along with Pokemon and Goatman, he formed his first business enterprise, a rap group called The Chase. His mother Joyce was his biggest supporter. Very musically inclined herself, she influenced his music a great deal, which would evidently lead to some of his biggest singles. As young teenagers, the group performed wherever they could, ranging from all-age parties to basement parties. Tommy G was his chosen stage name, although it didn't quite start that way. Tommy Guns was the name he went by, but due to the threat of a lawsuit from another rapper who lived in the States at the time, who also went by the same name, he then decided to shorten it to Tommy G. Thus began the next part of his journey, the birth of Tommy G. His music career had humble beginnings, recording over cassette tapes in his friend Pokemon's house, and selling his mixtapes literally right out the trunk of his car. It wasn't until he teamed up with his cousin Fresh, who owned an entertainment company, Third Degree Entertainment, that Tommy got his first real taste of being an artist. Fresh managed artists and took them on a Canada-wide tour. And of course, Tommy tagged along. He was only 16 years old at the time, and that experience changed his entire career. He came back a different artist, more hungry and driven than ever before. And by the time he was 17, he had already sold 21,000 copies of his mixtape, and Tommy G was buzzing. But of course, like any young artist at the time, you go through your trials and tribulations, and even he was no exception. A few hit songs and a couple bad deals that lasted way too long. Tommy G was back at ground zero. But that didn't deter this hard-working, dedicated young man. It fueled him to go even harder. He began to mount his comeback to the top of the food chain. Another cousin of his, Butty, of Soul Vibes, who was an international DJ, swooped in and lended another helping hand, which would lead to his resurgence. He took him under his wing and gave his young career just what he needed. He pumped him with shows, lots of them. Pretty soon, Tommy G had his own traveling party circuit, performing at parties every week all over Canada. This gave him just what he needed to propel his career even a step further. He approached another one of his good friends, Khalil, also known as K the Boss, and proposed the idea that they start their very own record label. Together, they created Cardigan Gang Music Group, which would grow to become an independent label, artist management firm, and artist development agency. At this time, he had also welcomed his only child, Xander, into the world, with his then girlfriend, Emma, who was also very instrumental in the early days of Cardigan Gang Music Group. At one point, she was their secretary, graphic designer, photographer, booking agent, you name it. She did it all. This allowed Tommy and Kay to build the capital and attract the artists they needed. At one point, Cardigan Gang Music Group was home to more than 15 artists, some which included another good friend of his, Justin, aka Capo K, and his younger brother, Chubbs, aka Chubbs Loke, who would go on to make his own subsidiary label called Carda Mafia. Having Chubbs on the label and being able to work closely with him was something very special to Tommy, and he cherished those moments. From studio sessions to shooting music videos and rocking sold-out shows together, his dream had come true. He was doing this right alongside his brother. Cardigan Gang would thrive in the years to come, and so would his career. He completed countless cross-country tours in Canada and United States. Had his songs circulating on major radio stations across North America and even worldwide. He also opened for countless big-name artists such as Rick Ross, French Montana, and Fabulous. Tommy G had become a household name. But once again, more trials and tribulations would come his way. But this time, in the form of a tragedy, as his favorite person in the world, his grandmother, passed away. She was an integral part of his life, especially his vital early years growing up in Grenada, and this devastated him. Upon his return from Grenada, his mindset shifted and began drawing closer and closer to his roots. He changed up his style and began singing soca music native to his country of Grenada, and used his platform to push Grenada culture onto the map, thus leading to yet another business enterprise, a t-shirt brand called Jab in Your Mother Front. Another company him and his best friend Kay started together. The catchy slogan quickly gathered an interest, and before long was seen at Caribbean carnivals worldwide. It got to the point where at almost every fete around the world, you would see the slogan on a t-shirt. And he was slowly succeeding in his mission to promote Grenada culture worldwide. And in true Orendiel fashion, he wanted more, thus leading to the birth of the job boss. He knew that in order to expand to the lengths he wanted, he needed to create a strong brand. Something that would eventually become a household name in Caribbean carnivals worldwide. Something that would splatter Grenada all over the map. Something that harnessed the very essence of what it meant to be a Grenadian. And the Job Army regime was born. A powerful, poignant name that pushed forward the job culture of Grenada. This would be his final mark in history, a man who brought Grenada culture to the world. Along with his close friends, Kay, JJ, White Wine, Lefty and Darrell, they formed Job Army. It would grow into a multifaceted brand with its own clothing line, series of events, mass band, and became an easily recognizable name all over carnivals worldwide. Throughout his business ventures, he always sought counsel in his younger sister, Kemi, who was an honor roll student and a brilliant young woman. His work ethic was incomparable. Along with his business ventures, he held down a job at the biggest restoration company in Canada for 18 years and worked his way up to becoming a senior project manager. Through his job and businesses, he always gave back and lended a helping hand to those either starting out or those less fortunate than him. This included creating and running a mentor and skills building program for youth in need through his job at Brooks, a program which still exists today. He also sponsored community events yearly, such as the Grenada Day Festival in Toronto, and created scholarships for children in Grenada, as well as donating goods and supplies to schools all over his home country. He was a man full of life, unapologetically himself, and never afraid to rise to the occasion. His work ethic went hand in hand with his ambition, and it allowed him to touch so many lives. But most of all, he was a father and a family man who loved his son more than anything in the world. His name was Orendiel Orson Charles. His name was Tommy G. He was the job boss.
Somebody call room service.
This
motherfucker's spoon, nigga.
This motherfucker's eating with a fucking. Yo, let's see that motherfucker. Let's see that spoon, nigga. Let's see that spoon, man.
Motherfucking spoon.
Zoom in on this. All this shit.
That's a real.
Yo, if you were here, I would hold you in my arms, but you didn't. So I can't cover you in charts, baby, I can't. In the night, I can keep you warm in every tear you cry, I can catch you in my palms. I think it's time I start treating you right. Sipping champagne, dinners on the candlelight. And your wrist so cold that it can't be ice. Who said I wasn't charming and I can't be nice? All those days on the corner, I was throwing up dice. Now I got you screaming like, Jay, this can't be life. I can give you what you want, ain't no matter the price. Cause you're the most precious thing I have in my life. Pain is love, girl, but that's life on the real. We gon' still be together, despite how they feel. There will be no other like me still. I know I sound cocky, ma, but this how I feel. I'll do it when I tell you I will. Cause I'm talking about your neck when I tell you to chill. So I hope one day that you can be my wife, and we can walk out of church and they be throwing a price.
And I wanna hold you and keep you next to me, cause it feels like ecstasy. Wanna console you, cause ain't no other place to be. Cause girl, you're meant for me. When I hold you, I keep you strong like Hercules. Give me a chance to see. I wanna hold you, squeeze you, hug you, and make love all night long.
I wanna put you in the castle where the towers is dark and shower you in these flowers and hearts. Be right by your side when the hours are dark. I got something to tell you, but I don't know where to start. We were made for each other, nothing keep us apart. And I don't mind late night taking walks to the park. I admit, baby, that you're more than a cutie, cause your personality is the essence of your beauty. Look, I just wanna hold you, no need for me to talk. I just wanna show you, girl. What's mine is yours, even the dough too. So no matter what these chicken heads went on and told you, I'm still the same dude, you know, gon' roll through. A little rude, mom, but I'm still gon' hold you. Real crazy though, but my baby's a thug too. I guess what I'm trying to say is, baby, I love you.
And I wanna hold you and keep you next to me, cause it feels like ecstasy. Wanna console you, cause ain't no other place to be, cause girl, you're meant for me. When I hold you, I keep you strong like Hercules. Give me a chance to see. I wanna hold you, squeeze you, hug you, and make love all night long. And when you're in my arms, girl, I don't wanna let you go. I can see the tears in your eyes when I say that I got to go. But baby, please don't cry, cause I don't wanna let you go. Then I hop in the homie's ride, and you start to scream, oh no.
If you were here, I would hold you in my arms, but you didn't. So I can't cover you in charts, baby, I can't. In the night, I can keep you warm in every tear. You cry, I can catch you in my
And I
arms.
wanna hold you and keep you next to me, cause it feels like ecstasy. Wanna console you, cause ain't no other place to be, cause girl, you're meant for me. When I hold you, I keep you strong like Hercules. Give me a chance to see. I wanna hold you, squeeze you, hug you, and make love all night long. A cool day in June, sitting under the moon. I had to leave, said I'll see you real soon. I couldn't believe you had my seat in your room, all because of a day in the scene in your room. In the start, it seemed like my doom. Your gloom was more beautiful than the flowers that bloom. So I sat down and wrote this tune for the girl I'ma love till the day that I lay in my tomb. That morning I woke up, I gave you a kiss, boo. Told you I ain't gone, but I already miss you. Went outside and to roll up a split too. You crying on the steps, so I passed you a tissue. Mesmerized, so I stared in your eyes and wish you weren't hurt by no other guys. Now I realize after all of the lies that I'm your Superman and I was wearing a disguise.
Baby, 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 yeah, 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 yeah. I really love you, boy. And when you go away, yeah, 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 yeah. I really miss you.
Oh, baby. Alright, Sports Challenges, aka not Mr. 10,000 no more, now Mr. 10 million. So holla at your boy. London last scene. You know what I'm saying? Holla at me. 15.net. Peace.